Mario's presentation is going to be hard to bypass. It's always a great presentation, and he was one of my trainers during the program, and I think Mario's made it one of the more outstanding things that I've done in a long time, so I appreciate that. Pretty much in professional responsibility, I mean, it depends on what type of practice one has. One has a big practice. The practice I'm in have like 100 employees, 5 offices, 9 physicians, or a smaller practice with just 1 doctor. Some of these concepts, it's going to vary. It will depending on the size of your practice and the number of people involved in your practice. When you get to a larger practice, some of these things probably will make sense a little bit more. But based on what Mario was saying, some of these things that we deal with every day regarding issues may have more an impact in certain ways on smaller practices as opposed to larger practices. This is something that we probably will be discussing in this course. How to deal with that, how to deal with those external factors that are out there, from the insurers to payers, EMR systems. How are we going to get through all that? It may be beyond even what we can do in a group. It may be a situation where physicians will need to work in a more integrated fashion to take care of the situation, horizontally, and maybe even think about doing things vertically. So I'm being a little bit vague about that, but I think that as we get into this course, I think that these are subjects that will probably come up and be of interest. As far as your professional responsibility issues, I mean, one of the big things I think is to be able to pass on, as leaders of your practices and groups, to pass on this thinking to everybody in your group, from the bottom up, top down, bottom up. So you have your participants in your group thinking like the owner, the leader, and that takes some transformational things to think about. But anyway, my part of the course, I guess, well, I will be discussing those kind of things, and I think that hopefully it'll be important, and hopefully it'll be somewhat helpful when we go through it. So these are the major subjects. So one would be leadership. The thing of who's champion of your business is like a question. It's like a very important question, which you can decide that as you go through the course. The issue of ethics will be covered by one of my other colleagues. We'll discuss something about communication, managing conflict, the idea of what the business culture should be and how that happens, whether that's an active or passive situation, managing the practice manager, the subtleties of doing that, developing plans, setting goals for your group, short-term, intermediate, long-term, finding what success is. That can change over time. Problem solving, important. Change management or transformational management, thriving in difficult times. And the rest, I believe, will be reviewed by one of my colleagues in terms of professional license management, required training, maintenance of certification, and practice assessment. So, thank you.